let us discuss about transportation process in human beings. Our body consists of very complex multicellular organisms. Oxygen and nutrients cannot be easily shared with these cells in our body. Moreover, waste products cannot be removed easily, and to overcome this, we need a transportation system. The transportation system helps to carry substances from one part of the body to another part through blood. Majorly, blood consists of plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. Plasma carries food, carbon dioxide and waste, in dissolved form to the different parts of the body. In the same way, red blood cells carries oxygen to the different parts of the body. Blood in our body flows with the help of heart. Let us discuss in detail about the functioning of heart. Heart is a muscular organ which is as big as our fist. It acts as a pumping motor, which pumps blood to all parts of the body, and this is the primary function of the heart. Because of this pump from heart, blood passes through complex network of nerves in our body, and reaches blood to the targeted cells. As both oxygen and carbon dioxide have to be transported by blood, the heart has different chambers, which prevent mixing of blood containing oxygen carrying blood with carbon dioxide carrying blood. Some of the major functions of heart are: the blood containing carbon dioxide has to reach lungs to remove carbon dioxide. The oxygenated blood from lungs has to be brought back to heart, and then pumped to the rest of the body. The force of pumping blood against the walls of arteries is called blood pressure. Each time when heart beats, the heart pumps blood into arteries. Functionality of chambers in heart. Initially, the oxygenated blood from lungs comes to the thin upper chamber of heart, that is left atrium. After collecting the blood, left atrium contracts, and the next chamber, that is left ventricle, expands. Hence the blood is transferred to left ventricle. Now the left ventricle contracts, and blood is pumped throughout the body. After the oxygenated blood is pumped throughout the body, the deoxygenated blood containing carbon dioxide, coming from body to upper chamber, that is right atrium, hence right atrium is expanded. Now the right atrium contracts, and the lower chamber of right ventricle expand, such that the blood flows from right atrium to right ventricle. Now the right ventricle pumps the collected blood, that is deoxygenated blood, into lungs. Now we will discuss about how deoxygenated blood in the lungs is changed to oxygenated blood. In lungs, the deoxygenated blood releases carbon dioxide and absorbs fresh oxygen from air. So, the blood becomes oxygenated. This oxygenated blood is sent to the left atrium of heart. The whole process is repeated continuously. In this way, the blood keeps on circulating in our body without breakup, due to which all the parts of the body get oxygen, food and other materials are digested all the time. The blood circulation also keeps on removing waste products formed in the cells of the blood. For example, many reptiles have three-chambered heart, and may even survive after blood mixing oxygen and carbon dioxide. Fishes contain only two-chambered heart, where blood is passed to gills for oxygenation, and directly pumps the blood to the rest of body. Now we will discuss about blood pressure in human body. Blood is carried from heart to all parts of body in vessels, called arteries. Blood pressure is the force of blood pushing against the walls of arteries. Each time the heart beats, it pumps the blood into arteries. Blood pressure is set as high when heartbeat raises, and leads to pumping of blood. This is called systolic pressure. Normally systolic pressure is considered as 120 millimeters of mercury. When heart is at rest, that is between beats, blood pressure falls down. This is called diastolic pressure. Normally diastolic pressure is considered as 80 millimeters of mercury. Blood pressure is measured with an instrument called sphygmomanometer. Now we will discuss about blood vessels. The blood vessels transport blood throughout the body. Blood vessels mainly consist of three types. They are artery, capillary, and vein. Artery carries blood from heart to all parts of the body. When heart pumps blood under high pressure through the arteries, the walls of arteries become thick and elastic. After reaching blood to tissues, the artery divides into smaller and smaller vessels, to bring blood in contact with all individual cells. The smallest cells have walls which are one cell is called capillaries. The capillaries further join to form veins. Vein collects blood from all parts of the body, and brings back to heart. Vein walls are not thick because, bringing blood from organs to heart doesn't have high pressure. Vein contains valves, to ensure blood flows through only one direction. Now we will discuss about platelet cells in blood. Blood contains platelet cells, and these are circulated in entire body, to prevent continuous blood loss during injuries. Platelets in blood help to clot the blood at the injured part. There is another type of fluid which is involved in transportation, called lymphocytic fluid. The pores present in the walls of capillaries contain some amount of plasma, proteins and blood cells escape into cellular spaces in the tissues, to form the tissue fluid. It does not have any color, and contains less protein. Lymph carries digested and absorbed fat from intestine and returns waste to blood. Now we will discuss about the transportation in plants. For plants, soil is richest source, which contains raw materials like nitrate, phosphorus, ammonium and many more minerals. The plant roots are responsible for collecting the minerals in soil. In previous lessons we have discussed that chlorophyll is a molecule that absorbs sunlight, and uses its energy, to synthesize carbohydrates from carbon dioxide and water, which are present in leaves. If the distance between soil contacting organs and chlorophyll containing organs is small, energy and raw materials can easily diffuse to all parts of the plant body. If the distance between soil contacting organs and chlorophyll containing organs are large, the diffusion process is not sufficient, and for this proper system is required for transportation. Plant transportation systems move energy stored from leaves and raw materials from roots in two pathways, xylem and phloem respectively. Xylem is a technique which moves water and minerals absorbed from the soil through roots. Phloem is the technique which transports products of photosynthesis from the leaves, where they are synthesized to other parts of the plant. The difference between xylem and phloem is, xylem transports water and minerals from bottom to top of the plant, whereas phloem transports sugar from leaves to different parts of plant, which is downward direction, that is top to bottom. Now we will discuss about transportation of water in plants. In xylem tissue, the roots, stems, and leaves are interconnected to form a continuous water flow reaching all parts of plants. At roots, cells are in contact with soil, acquire ions, and create difference in the concentration of ions between root and soil. Hence, water moves from soil to the root, to eliminate the difference of ions, and push water in upward direction continuously. This is how plants get pressure to push water upwards. The other way of moving water in the xylem, upwards to highest, that is topmost points of the plant body. The water lost through leaves is replaced by water from xylem vessels in leaf. The evaporation of water molecules from the cells of leaves creates a suction, which pulls water from xylem cells of root. The loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial parts of the plant is known as transpiration, and this helps in absorption of water and minerals from roots to leaves of the plant and helps in temperature regulation. Now let us move on to transportation of food in plants. The products of metabolic processes, particularly during photosynthesis, are moved from leaves to various parts of the plants. This transportation of soluble products of photosynthesis is called translocation, and it occurs in the part of the vascular tissue, known as phloem. The phloem transports amino acids and other food substances to storage organs of roots, fruits, seeds and to growing organs of plant. The translocation of food and other substances takes place in the sieve tubes, with the help of adjacent companion cells, both in upward and downward directions. Material like sucrose is transferred into phloem tissue, using energy from ATP, and creates some pressure, which moves water into it, and phloem to tissues at less pressure, and water moves, based on plant needs.